And so I just invite us to get ourselves into whatever position is comfortable for our bodies. This is meant to be a space of allowance for the fullness of our beingness, all of our parts and aspects, material, spiritual, energetic, etheric, whatever terms we like to apply. This is a practice that's intended to be for the wholeness of our beings. And as you're getting comfortable, just know in terms of the audio, once I go into the practice, I get a bit softer that way. So, and when it comes to the guided practice, actually listening to the words, you can. If you want to engage your brain in understanding the words spoken, that's totally fine. If you just want to let them wash over you, that's fine too. Whatever way you want to engage is totally okay. All right, and I just invite us here to take a couple of deep breaths on our own, in through the nose. Maybe hold it for a moment longer than we would in typical breathing, and then gently breathing that out. Just do that 2 or 3 times here, just to calm down the activity in our good brains. So I do indeed welcome us all into this guided practice that we call a circle of light. And as we've been engaging in this practice over many weeks and months, we now have established a type of light structure that we can imagine to be a kind of sphere or bubble of light with beautiful iridescent colors of greens and purples, yellows and pinks, and some really wonderfully diverse blues that are working throughout that semi-permeable membrane as well. And so for the duration of this practice, each of us are invited into this sphere of light and love and wholesome intentions. And so you can choose to allow yourself to pass through that semi-permeable membrane into this bubble, this sphere of light. You can imagine it to be whatever size is enjoyable for you, if you desire it to be closer or larger and more spacious. This sphere is completely accommodating to the wholeness, the fullness of our beings. And within this space, we are safe and secure to express those things that are uniquely ours to express, things that come from places deeper than our brains, places that are often referred to as the heart, the soul, the core self. Each and every one of us has these deeper aspects that have desires that are unique to us, just as unique desires were expressed verbally before we started. Each of us also has unique desires deep within us that we may even have challenges verbalizing, because these things do not depend on language. They are not limited by words or human thought or concepts. These are things related to wholeness, to love, to expression, to truth, to beingness, to life, to light in all of its manifold manifestations. And so we can even just have a sense or a feeling of those things deep within. And the beautiful thing about our existence is that that which is highest, that which is greatest, what we might refer to as source, the ultimate reality, ground of being, the words are not as important as the sense that we are deeply and intimately related to that which is so much greater than our own unique selves, the one from whom we come and the one that each of us in our own ways is on a journey toward greater and greater union with, a greater and more fuller sense of our beingness within the beingness of this ultimate reality. And so as we express those deep desires from within, whether we can verbalize them within ourselves or not, that which is highest responds. The ground of being resonates with those things that come from our deepest aspects. And because these things come from who we most deeply are, they are always responded to by the ground of being. And those responses always benefit not only our own unique selves, but also benefit all of beingness, all that exists. Because this is how deeply and fundamentally connected, related, unified we are with all that exists at these more fundamental levels of being, of truth, of love. And so as we express our own unique desires to that which is greatest and highest, I'll also speak into this space, those desires that were expressed earlier before we go into our brief period of silence. And so, as we had expressed, there have been expressed desires for greater healing and wholeness, for the easing of discomfort, whether it might be in our material bodies, our material minds, our spiritual bodies and aspects, our spiritual minds, our core selves, or the mind, the multifaceted mind that is a part of our deepest core beingness. That all of these aspects can experience more and more the fullness of their beingness, greater harmony, alignment, coherence, as all of our parts and aspects allow ourselves to be bathed and saturated within a field of unconditional love. For the ground of being emanates throughout all the cosmos, a field, an ocean of unconditional love that is available for our benefit and for the benefit of all, merely through the desiring, through the asking, through the expressing of our deep longings for that which we most sincerely yearn and desire. And we've had expressed in this space a desire for growth for ourselves and for all. For this is the nature of life, to grow, to change, to evolve, to proliferate, to diversify, to grow in greater and greater expression of life in its subtlety and in its grandeur. So we do indeed desire growth, development for ourselves and for all. And we have our own desires to expand our perceptions, our knowingness, to see, to perceive, to know more and more the newness, the freshness that exists as we allow our perceptions to expand to where we are able to see beyond the tired categories, the limiting concepts and ideas that we have been indoctrinated with, that we have the ability to see so much more, to perceive, to know so much more of what is what exists beyond the tiny little boxes that we have accepted as being real. That there are realities, there are energies and entities and essences so far beyond what we can imagine. And not only this, but those who exist in harmony with that which is greatest also desire to benefit us, to bring their own gifts, their own blessings to bear according to our desires as well. And so we can grow in our awareness that there are so many forces in this cosmos that do desire the best and highest for us. Regardless of our experiences on this planet, there is so much more help, so much more available that we can't even imagine. And yet, when we ask, when we express our heartfelt desires for whatever is most central to us in any given moment, the ultimate and all of the forces aligned with the ultimate are happy to help, to offer guidance, support, love, healing, whatever is needed in that moment. And so may we continue to grow in our awareness, our appreciation, our enjoyment of our own selves and their vastness, and of the vastness of this cosmos that we get to experience as children of the ultimate. And we've also had expressed here a desire for transformation, transmutation, change, that there are things within us and within the world, within the cosmos, that we desire to be different, to find their higher expressions, to undergo those changes, those reorganizations that help to bring greater love, light, harmony, goodness, truth, beauty into our own personal experiences and also into the broader perceptions and experience of humanity and of all of the life that suffuses the vastness of this cosmos. And so we do express our desires for deep and fundamental change for ourselves and for all. And we invite those powers, those forces that desire this transformation, we invite them, we welcome them, and we express our desires to align ourselves with those powers, with those forces, not only for our own unique benefit, but for the benefit of all. And so with those heartfelt expressions of desire spoken into this space again, I invite each of us now into a brief time of silent communion and contemplation. We may commune with our own parts and aspects. We may commune with the ultimate. We may commune with the multidimensional reality that we might refer to as the cosmos or the multiverse. Whatever feels lightest, most joyful for each of us as unique individuals, that is welcome within this space. And after that period of silence, I'll invite us out with some words of gratitude. Enjoy the silence. Thank you. Thank you. One and all, each and all, for everything within this space, for the love and the light, for the truth and the beauty, for all of those things expressed within the safety, the sanctity of this sphere of light. And we are also so grateful for all of the responses received, regardless of our conscious awareness of that receiving in the moment. And this is where we sometimes get to exercise our trust that those things that we express are responded to, even if our perceptions are not yet subtle enough to perceive those responses in real time. When we are ready, when we are willing, we do indeed become aware of that which has come in response to our unique expressions of love, of desire, for that which is best and highest for ourselves and for all. And so I invite us now to consider stepping outside of the sphere of light if we desire. Of course, you can remain in there. Everything is offered as an invitation. But if you desire to transition back into this more typical space, that's totally okay. And if not, that's totally okay too. And so as we come out of this space, we can choose to maybe wiggle our fingers and toes a little bit, make sure that we are fully um, engaged with our wonderful biological bodies. And as we prepare to depart from today's practice, I invite us to be kind and gentle with ourselves, with others. There are many energies moving about our planet at this time. There's much that is coming up for clearing, for cleaning, for healing. And much of this is coming up within ourselves. And so I just invite us to give ourselves what we need in terms of self-care, time, space, hydration, nourishment, movement, or stillness, whatever helps us to feel nurtured and cared for in what are, for many of us, pretty challenging conditions on the planet at this time. And so with that, I express my gratitude to each and all for all of the love, all of the light, all of the heartfelt intentions expressed during this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ultimate One. Thank you, Ground of Being. And indeed, thank you, all our relations. And it is done.